Welcome back. Pollution levels in several parts of Delhi NCR shot up to the highest end of the monitoring limits. In some neighborhoods, local sensors recorded AQI readings above 1,000. With wind speed dropping below 5 kilometers per hour, pollutants stay trapped close to the ground, making the air unsafe for everyone, regardless of their age or their health. As air quality collapsed, authorities activated GRAP stages 3 and 4. Non-essential construction, demolition have all been stopped. Polluting units like stone crushers and brick kilns have also been shut down. Environmentalists have demanded a joint session of both houses of the parliament along with an emergency action plan. Shrishti Chaudhary, my colleague, has been getting us non-stop ground reports on the situation this morning in Delhi NCR. Take a look.
It's a chilly morning here in the national capital this Monday. As you can see behind me, the extent of the fog, in this case, smog, has really enveloped the entire national capital region. Now we are here at the Akshardham flyover where we can see that the visibility has really come down. Now according to the India Meteorological Department, the visibility has gone down to 50 meters both at Palam as well as Safdarjung. Now if you remember, over the last 3 days, the air quality in the national capital has really plummeted. Now on 13th December, it crossed the 400 mark. Now AQI index anywhere between 400 to 450 falls into the severe category. But yesterday, it also crossed the 450 mark of severe plus. Now, according to the Central Pollution Control Board, the daily AQI index for Delhi was recorded at 466, which falls into the severe plus category. It was equally worse in Noida, where it was 468. Now, the residents of Delhi are definitely breathing extremely toxic air, which is high in particulate matter, PM 2.5, PM 10. There are toxic gases here, nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxides, and other particulate matter, which is making it difficult to breathe. Now, experts have warned people not to step out without wearing these masks, which are essential in considering the level of toxicity is really high in the air. Now, as I would request our video person to show that the number of vehicles plying on Delhi roads really has not come down. Remember, Delhi is under stage 4 of the Graded Response Action Plan. There are restrictions on the movement of vehicles. Private offices have been urged to shift to 50% work from home schedule. Even the government offices have been really urged to do that, to bring down the number of vehicles on the roads.
Well, as you see, Delhi also witnessed its first spell of winter fog, which turned into smog given the high pollutants in the environment. I do want to go across to Anshul Singh, who's joining us live from the IGI airport, as this has led to delays in several departures as well. Anshul, take us through the latest. What are authorities sharing there? How much inconvenience really for people who were looking at flying out this morning?
Well, yes, there is a slight inconvenience that is being faced by people at this point in time. Several flights since morning, approximately 22 flights since this morning have been delayed due to the low visibility that has engulfed the national capital this morning. But as the sun is coming out, as the day is progressing, certainly the visibility is increasing over here at the IGI airport, and that is the reason why now surely the delays, the number of flights that are getting delayed is slowly coming down. But yes, there is this backlog that is being faced by the airlines at this point in time, due to which we are seeing that there are issues being faced. I'll just move out of the frame and try and show you the visibility conditions over here at the IGI airport. It has certainly increased, which was approximately 50 meters this morning at 4 a.m. Has certainly now increased to more than 200 to 250 meters at the IGI airport, which means that the airlines are now not facing that issue of low visibility. Certainly the visibility has increased, but the larger issue that still pertains is the deteriorating AQI. It is still in the severe plus categories at many stations out here in the national capital. In several stations in Delhi NCR, it continues to remain in the severe plus category, which means that it is actually unhealthy for healthy people to breathe in this air, let alone the people who are suffering from breathing illnesses. So definitely there are a lot of issues that are being faced by the people when it comes to the increased level of pollution. So over the last 3 days, the AQI has remained in the severe category, and over the next 2 days as well, it is predicted that due to the impending wind conditions, the AQI is expected to remain in the severe category itself. So definitely does not seem like that any relief would be given to the people of Delhi in the near future.
parallelly, we're also putting out these visuals with different AQI readings across Delhi NCR. Anshul, stay on with us. I do want to bring in Shrishti Chaudhary, who's joining us live from Kartavya Path. Shrishti, you've been traversing through the national capital. Tell us a little bit about the scenes that you've been picking up since early this morning, and also the AQI readings. Have they gone down, with each passing hour? What's your observation today?
So the national capital has been breathing extremely toxic air over the last 2 months. As we all know, the air quality has been very poor. But over the last 3 days, the air quality index has crossed over the 400 mark. Now, we all know that when the air quality index crosses that 400 mark, it touches the severe category. But in the last 24 to 48 hours, it's even in the severe plus category. Now, the daily AQI bulletin from the Central Pollution Control Board shows that it is 461 in Delhi and it's 466 in Noida, which means that all the pollution levels are really peaking out here. Now, according to the Central Pollution Control Board, the dominant pollution is coming from PM 2.5. And as we discussed before, this particulate matter with a small size can really impact your lungs. Now, here we are at Kartavya Path. Now, as you can see behind me, the visibility is improved over the last 2 hours, but it's still very bad. Now, this is also because the weather conditions have turned extremely unfavorable because of a western disturbance impacting northwest India. There has been light scattered rain in the upper reaches of Ladakh, but here in the national capital, the moisture level in the air has increased, which actually helps all these pollutants to get trapped in with these water molecules, which makes it much more suffocating for people on the ground. And their advisories are being issued by the Commission for Air Quality Management in Delhi NCR, urging people to wear masks when they step outside. And here we see the number of people also. So it's a Monday morning today. Compared to the weekend, we were here yesterday as well, and we saw a huge number of tourists and a lot of people who had come here for their evening walks and morning walks. Now, it's a Monday morning. We can see a lot of vehicles, but the number of people outside have come down. But yes, the air quality remains very bad. And like we said before, the stage 4 of the graded response action plan is already implemented in the national capital, urging people to take precautions and protect the vulnerable sections, especially children and the elderly people, who are, if in case they are suffering from other ailments. This toxic air can make it extremely, can be an extremely worrisome situation for them, because it not only impacts your health in the short term, but in the long term as well. And
especially for the vulnerable and
it's really
the
a cause
elderly.
of concern.
It's a cause of concern, especially for the vulnerable and the elderly, and it's
And
being spoken of heavily by experts. Shrishti, you spoke of Grab for restrictions, and you spoke of how that in itself has led to lesser number of vehicles, also lesser number of people, given it's a Monday morning. The centres also invoked tough anti-pollution measures. If you could quickly come in a little bit on that, give us a reflection of what that could mean in the national capital for the next few days. We're looking at a reduction in office staff. Schools have turned into hybrid mode. What else?
Yes, so all these restrictions are under the emergency measures. Remember, graded response action plan is an emergency measure which comes into effect when the air quality really touches a very high level, and that is why there are restrictions on the vehicular movement. Vehicles coming from outside which do not abide by the BS4, which are less than BS4, are not permitted to enter the city. And here the private and the government offices have been urged to go to 50% work from home. Schools have been urged to shift to a hybrid mode of learning, all in an attempt to bring down the number of vehicles on the road. Then mechanized sweeping of roads, water sprinklers are already around. The government, Delhi government especially, has spent a lot of money on dust mitigation measures, and that is why, because PM10, a lot of this dust basically contributes to PM10, which is again a serious pollutant in the national capital. Then residential societies are also being urged to provide water. Residential societies are being also encouraged to provide to heaters to security guards, because the wood burning and the burning of biomass also contributes to this emissions. And considering the temperatures have really plummeted, it's a chilly morning here, a chilly Monday morning here. The temperatures are also around 10 degrees Celsius. So as the days go by, we can really see this pollution level rising. And I'd also like to highlight that, if you go by the records, Delhi, the pollution level in Delhi, it's a long, long-standing problem. and it's among those cities which are also under the National Clean Air Program, along with the adjoining cities of Noida. And over the last since 2019, about 96 crore has been spent, especially on
and a lot of
tackling
experts,
this
speaking of
pollution
that,
level. And
Shrishti,
a lot
have
of this
come in on
investment-
how these quick fixes, be it anti-smog guns, sprinklers, dust suppressants, are not really being able to help remove these problems and challenges that come with AQI as high as 450 and plus.